My name is Narayanan. I'm a faculty at IMD. I also hold an appointment at the National University of Singapore in the business school. I have come to business in a fairly circuitous way. I started off as an engineer, like all good Indian boys, and realized that people were more central to the way I think about the world. And that led me to do human resources. Post which I ran a company in India called Merit Track Services. I was a part of the founding team. And that didn't really stick with me for long because there was always an academic at heart. So I went to the London Business School to do my PhD in decision making, negotiations. That's the kind of things that I studied. After which I came to Singapore, spent 10 years here, and Singapore became home. Before I went to Switzerland for 2 years to respond to a midlife crisis because I had to really figure out how I would contribute and be a part of my career for the next 25 years. In a couple of weeks from now, I actually return back to Singapore to come to make it home again. So that's in brief who I am. If you go back and look at how business is thought about human beings, the human was a resource. So that comes from Taylorism. The idea being that people are an extension of the machine. To me, that's a very limited perspective on what people are in today's world. I think people are not a resource, but people are the enterprise. So if you think about it in that manner, the social capital becomes central to what we do, to everything we do as a part of businesses. And I think a few businesses have begun to realize that. And I don't think it's simply a matter of profits. It's simply a matter that, you focus on this and you're going to actually have more returns on the market. It's actually who we are as a species. To deny that would be to deny a part of us. So we are essentially connected. We are essentially one. And I was in a conference once with His Holiness Dalai Lama and a bunch of economists. And the economist's definition of altruism is engaging in behaviors that help another at a cost to myself. And His Holiness burst out into peals of laughter, which to me was very symbolic of how ridiculous he thought that idea was. Essentially, when we are engaging in any behaviors that is altruistic, that is helping another, it is simply the universe rearranging itself. We are connected, we are one. So in that sense, social capital becomes the central core of our very existence. And that's why I think it's something that all businesses should be paying attention to. Often when I teach influence and negotiation, I talk about karma. The reason being that it's a beautiful idea that captures the core of what social capital is. If we become too instrumental in the way we think about the universe, in the way we think about influence, you're only going to get so much. The idea of karma, which is kind of comes from Indian philosophy and mythology, the idea being that in order for you to receive, you should give without an expectation of return. You give because it's simply who you are. It is simply an expression of your very persona. So in that sense, karma becomes the core idea that connects people, that makes the world what it is. So to me, karma social capital is an idea whose time has come. So, often, there are many ideas that are floating around in the world. There are many reasons we do what we do. One of the things that got me to be a part of what the team here is doing on social capital is because it seems to be something that is so intuitive. I kind of resonated with the idea. So when Arun and I had breakfast a couple of days ago, and he told me what he's doing, the idea that social capital is at the core of the enterprise became something that was so intuitive and so natural that I felt like it was something that I could go out and talk to the world about. And it is something that brings us together. It's something that actually connects us in ways that I was not able to articulate as well as he had. So I said, why not? When you find something, when you find an idea that is so appealing, so intuitive, you want to be a part of it. So that's the reason why I'm here talking to you all.